changes could be coming to elections. Opponents worry legislation introduced just last week could create problems during an election year, while supporters say it'll make Georgia elections more secure. Channel 2's Michael Dowdna live now in Paulding County, where election officials there are concerned. Michael.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, we talked and heard from proponents earlier last week about how they're hoping it could make elections safer. But folks here, well, they're worried about the consequences. For example, Paulding County is doing early voting right now. But under the terms of the bill, well, you would only have one precinct that you could go to vote. It would also have things and change things like requiring hand-marked paper ballots, changes on how elections could be challenged or audited, and it would all end up requiring new machines and new training that could lead to election day headaches.
The lines that we would have would be unimaginable.
That's the future Paulding County Election Director Deidre Holden fears if the newly proposed SB-568 becomes law.
There needs to be a lot of thought put into this, and I don't think there has been.
If passed, the legislation would require hand-marked paper ballots, along with changing how recounts and early voting works, which supporters say puts us in line with other states.
It moves to Georgians voting the same way the Floridans vote.
But this afternoon, Holden and the Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger expressed concern about the impact on counties and if they would have enough time to train workers and buy the needed equipment.
They're setting us up for failure.
For example, the cost. Paulding County says the legislation will require a special printer for each of their 144 poll books, costing the county around $500,000.
So it's a big number, and you multiply that by 159 counties. What's the average county size? And you start saying, oh, that'd be, tens of millions of dollars.
Brad Raffensperger and Holden are pushing for lawmakers to listen to the experts and at least delay implementation to give counties and the state time to prepare.
Extend out the date, go for another year, another 2 years.
We just really get tired of these unfunded mandates because our budgets are strained as it is, but you can't stop having elections.
County, Michael Dowdna, Channel 2 Action News.
We'll keep following what happens with that. Well, a man says a quick stop